I'm Tommy Yionoulis. I'm one of the co-founders of OpsAnalitica, an operations management and analytics platform. I am a Kitcaster customer. That's hard to say 3 times fast. Yeah, client. There you go. I am a Kitcaster client because I wanted to get in front of the same people that I would speak in front of at a conference, but I wanted to do it from my home for less money. Every host has been so professional. You know, I wasn't sure what we were going to get, but we have great conversations. Everybody brings their own flavor and their own sort of perspective to these podcasts. So even though they might be in the same industry, kind of talking about the same thing, they're completely different experiences every time. And the hosts have been so professional, and I've made some actually really great business contacts just from doing the podcasts. Podcasting is by far the easiest form of sort of content creation you can do, because it's just you and another person having in your profession having a really interesting conversation that just happens to be recorded, and guess what, it's over with, versus writing a blog, versus crafting emails or building automated marketing campaigns. Podcasting has by far been the easiest for us to do, easiest to create, easiest to stay consistently executing on, which is really tough to do because obviously if you just do fits and starts, then you don't really get the bang for your buck. And I mean, in the case of my podcast, like I don't even edit them. I just cut the front and the end off and I throw it up. So it's a great way to get content out to the web quickly. I mean, the great thing about podcasts is no one sends you the raw file. They send you a link to the finished podcast. So it's already online. It's already able to be distributed to anybody you want. Every podcast host wants you to take their podcast and blast it to your people so they get more listens, versus like you can't get an easier format to kind of distribute through your own channels other than just being on someone else's show, because they do all the hard work and heavy lifting, and at the end you have this beautiful piece of content that's out there ready for you to market. As a podcast host yourself, there are a lot of the people that you are going to get interviewed by are just like you, and as a matter of fact, they might be a great guest on your show. And every time I've mentioned that to one of the hosts, I'm like, hey, would you like to be on my show? And could we maybe just block a 2-hour block and we'll do both shows? They are absolutely on board for doing it because they understand the power of podcasting as well, and they want to get their brand out and their show out to the world. So it's become like a double booking agent. I get booked on people's shows, but then a lot of these guys I'm able to get on my show as well, which makes it easy for me to continue to generate my own content. I'm building some partnerships with some really like-minded people who want to utilize our platform within their business as a way to enhance their business. And I would have never even thought about calling these people. I wouldn't even have known who they were if I hadn't had the opportunity to meet them through the podcast. And here's the real point too. The podcast is a safe space, right? It's a trade-off between two professionals because they want something from you. They want your time and your content to enhance their show. And you get to meet another professional who you might end up doing business with, but it's not on a cold call. It's not on a sales meeting. We're not pitching each other. We're just talking, and we can build that rapport. And it's that rapport that when the show's over allows us to go, hey, would you want to spend 20 minutes? Can I show you my platform? And so you can see how it kind of works, because I think you could enhance your business over here like we just talked about. And they're like, yes, absolutely. And so it's just such a nice, easy way to you get an introduction to a person and you get to meet them and understand them and know who they are through the conversation. And then you can try to sell to a friend, not just a cold prospect.
Yeah, it's an initial conversation with no expectations.
Exactly. You're not going in to try to sell. You're just going in to have a great conversation. But by the way, during the conversation, we uncovered that you have a need and I have a solution. So maybe let's just chat and see if we can partner up and figure it out. And that's been like, I don't know, I might have done 12 interviews so far. I'm 3 people I'm doing business with right now. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. In terms of the interviews you're getting booked on, how much do you have to do?
I was a stand-up comic, and we're notoriously lazy people. I literally do nothing. So, like, because I just go into every podcast just trying to be in the moment. If they pre-send me questions, I'll screen them, but I screen them 10 minutes before the meeting. Like, I don't screen them 6 hours in advance or days in advance and try to come up with answers. Like, I just literally, I look at my calendar every day. I see the emails come in when I get booked on a podcast. I look at my calendar and I go, okay, I just need to make sure my kids and my dog are going to be quiet while I'm recording this thing, and I'm done. So it could not be more hands off for me after the initial setup of getting you my bio and getting you my photos. After that, I've literally just, they come in and I do them. You know what I mean? So it's perfect for me.